Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Oh, let's review.
Let's review.
Oh, let's review.
Season 2.
Bum. Yes. Did you like my ALF impression? No, it's bad. It's terrible. All right, 'tis the season, BlueDragonFive. How you doing tonight?
Okay.
Right on. Well, I have a little bit of a migraine, but I'm plowing through it. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna get all 31 episodes in by tomorrow, hook or by crook. But since I have a migraine, I'll take off the Santa hat for now. Cue the sad Hulk music for the Santa hat.
Da, 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 da,
The Santa hat's just wandering down the road.
Ho 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 ho, not the snack cake.
All right, so we've got a fun episode tonight. This one actually kind of caught me by surprise with how much I enjoyed it, because you were really downplaying it. So, if I may, I'll give a thesis statement for this episode, and I think I kind of already covered it and teased it. But, of course, for the season finale of the first year of Christmas in July last year, we took a look at a very, oh my God, a gut-wrencher of an episode, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a tearjerker. Like,
We
probably one of the single saddest episodes of any TV show ever.
Yeah, that was our trump card. That was our ace in the hole. That's what we used to end up last Christmas in July.
My ace in the hole was Harvey. And
our
ace in the hole.
Our ace in the hole is Paul Fusco.
And a dying little girl. You can never say no to the sadness of a little girl dying.
Okay.
All right.
Dial it back a little. Let's get back on point.
I know. Okay, but anyway, so obviously our point is that episode was extremely emotional. This episode, however, Oh Tannenbaum, I think this is more on point to what ALF usually is, what the type of humor ALF is usually going for.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it in that respect. I felt like this, oddly enough, like we've kind of been running into a couple roadblocks of episodes that obviously aren't introductory points. I think this is a really good introductory point for this series, to tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah.
I think more so than the other episode that we did. Because this just kind of gets right to the core of the dynamic. You got a lot of good Willie and ALF kind of chemistry going on there, and you got the fun stuff with Willie trying to impress his family but doing a terrible job at it. That kind of good stuff. I think it's a good representation of the show. And granted, I haven't seen that much of it, but I don't know. So you want to set it up just a tiny bit, just a little bit to get into it?
Yeah, there's not a lot to set up. This was during season 1 of ALF, so this is like his first Christmas on Earth since he crash landed in the Tanner's garage. ALF, the premise, just alien from Melmac, now a destroyed planet. He crash lands on Earth at the Tanner's garage, and he's adopted into their family essentially. And the gimmick is he can't be seen out. Basically, American Dad kind of stole from this show a lot, at least initially. Seriously, initially the premise, they didn't intend to have Roger go out in the skies, but pretty much the idea of an alien being cooped up in the house, that was ALF all the way.
But you know what? I think Alien Dad, what they did was they really gave Roger the whole, his whole thing became the multiple personalities and less so about being an alien, and I think that's where the character kind of took place.
Certainly. But ALF though, he was like, as an alien, he was just really always up the shenanigans, but always ever lovable and adorable and hilarious with Paul Fusco's performance behind him.
Indeed. All right, so you want to jump right into it? Jump right into Oh Tannenbaum?
Yeah.
All right,
right into it.
Let's do it.
So we start the episode with Kate, the mother of the family. She's in bed with Willie, and she's showing Willie the first Christmas card they ever got from the gas company way back in the day. It's going to come back to us.
And this is really sweet, I think. They're remembering their first Christmas together. Is it a married couple or just a couple? What do you think?
I believe it's it's either as a couple or as a family. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's probably, I would assume it's just when they were married. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably when they're married.
Oh my God, that's a really nice sentiment.
Yeah,
I just hold on to that.
Yeah, in general, the Tanners are a very pleasant family. They always have been. You know, it's again, they're like the non-conventional. It's basically a family. It's not like your conventional, like predictable, tropey sitcom family. You know, it's not like, oh, Dad's gonna be mad. No, you have an actual conversation with Dad. You know, it's like Lynn, the teenage daughter's the prime example. As I've said this before, like last time we talked about ALF, but you know, like thing with Lynn is like Lynn will have like a thing where it's like a common teenage parent issue, but then she'll take a step back and smartly say, you know what, I'm overreacting here. I know you guys are doing this because you love me. So I mean, she's smart like that. It's adorable.
Exactly.
And that's what the whole show's like. If anything, get it from the kid, and the kid's lovable, so you can't hate him for it. You know, it's.
Right.
And again, it was a non-conventional family. Of course, the biggest non-convention being they had ALF, had an alien life form living under their roof.
Yeah, they have a creation of Jim Henson. Oh god, really good stuff. Okay, so
they get a card that's reminiscent from the gas company, and the idea with the gas company Christmas card was it's actually really kind of charming. It's that the gas company would send them a Christmas card after turning off their heat, and the sweet side of the story is that by turning off the heat, they would have to be, you know, like get real comfy and like, you know, they'd stay in bed the whole day, just be comfy and like you get on.
Oh, I could go nuts with My Dinner with Andre electric blanket references right now, because that's the whole point of the My Dinner with Andre electric blanket speech. But anyways, move on.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, anyways, as they recount this nice, charming memory, then Alf enters the room with the stocking on his head. You know, it says Alf on it.
Noisemaker.
Yep, noisemaker. Basically, and then Willie and you know, Alf's always the mischief maker, and there's no fault of his own. It's just mischief is in his alien heritage, you know.
Sure.
Basically, Willie's saying he knows when we're awake. It's like Willie
knows when we're awake.
This is just season 1, but it escalates all the way to season 4 of just like Willie just being plagued. Poor Willie and the Tanner family being plagued by the shenanigans of this alien, always breaking things. And eating all their food.
But the whole strength of the show, I think, lies in the whole love-hate dynamic between Willie and Alf. Or, I mean, you know, Alf is very genuine towards Willie, but Willie definitely has the more love-hate dynamic. It's like a much, much more toned-down version of Squidward and SpongeBob in a way.
No, certainly. Yeah, that's one of my favorite dynamic in the show between Willie and Alf. It's so great, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, so Alf
and you know, he knows we're awake, and basically Alf's going, "It's Christmas Eve. I've hidden all the eggs."
All right, so this is a holiday trope that we can chalk up thanks to Hey Arnold, is people getting holidays confused.
Certainly.
Oh god, a little unconventional one to start out with.
So they point out that's Easter, not Christmas. And,
right, Christmas is when we carve the pumpkin.
Yep. The pumpkin. Anyway, so then Alf again, he's in the good seasonal mood. He made breakfast for him, sloppy joes and fiberglass, that line just fiberglass.
I mean, sloppy joes for breakfast is all. It's like, all right, that's a little like inappropriate, but fine, whatever. But fiberglass, like, how does that even work?
Oh yeah. Anyway, so then like Willie's asking what's up, and you know, it's all the kindness all of a sudden. Why are you making this breakfast? And Alf says, well, it's because I hear around Christmas time there's a Santa's list. It's because of Santa's list. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're bad, you get on the naughty list. You know, the fat guy
on the list.
You know, the fat guy with the fat guy in velvet.
Oh god.
Basically, if you're naughty, if you're nice that way, you're naughty, you get toys.
Yeah, Alf is all about the toys. He wants toys.
So you're like, yeah, also he wants to
He likes free stuff.
And of course, who doesn't like free stuff?
Do you like good TV? Who doesn't like good TV?
Yeah. And with that, Alf also he wants to again. This is his first Christmas on Earth. He doesn't, as you can tell by the Easter eggs and the turkey, he doesn't quite get the holidays.
He's a little mixed up about it.
This is his attempt to kind of get in the holiday spirit, even though he has no idea what it is.
If I were to get into his mindset a little bit, I'd say that his whole concept of holidays is that there's no real differentiation. It's just every holiday has all of the same, like it has the turkey and the pumpkin carving and the eggs and the Christmas, like Christmas, Easter, 4th of July, it doesn't matter. All the holidays literally take up every single custom. That's how I think he thinks of it.
I don't think that's far off base. I think he might be on to something there. Okay, anyways.
Like he just used the customs as just kind of ingredients in the overall holiday. All right, anyways.
Okay, so then let's see. So then Alf says, "Oh, and basically there's a surprise downstairs, and basically waiting along with breakfast." And Kate has left the room to go downstairs. I guess either get breakfast, see what Nessie's made, and then says, "Willie!" Says, "What did you do?" He says, "Well, I don't want to spoil the surprise."
I love how horrified Willie looks.
Yep,
he's literally acting as if Alf just murdered someone. Oh God, Alf.
Well, he did something. He did something kind of similar.
Well, he didn't cut up a Venus flytrap, so it's not sentient. But
so we find out he has cut the tree. He chopped down the decorated Christmas tree into firewood.
Yes, very thoughtful.
Cut the tree and the firewood. You're welcome. He's quoting Guardians of the Galaxy. You're welcome. Okay, we got our opening, and then we see. Okay, let's see. So then we got Alf and Brian, and they're all just kind of Alf, Brian, and Lynn. They're always sitting by, kind of sifting through tree parts and kind of.
Lynn's struggling to untangle the lights.
Yeah. Lynn's working on the lights. Alf and Brian are kind of like there's with the tree parts, like all the. I guess maybe their thought was like, hey, maybe we can put it back together. Nope. Anyway, so Alf's asking a question about the reindeers, thinking, okay, I think I got this. So he's trying to name the reindeer. Okay, so Dasher, Donner, Comet, Cupid, Matt, Mark, Luke, and John.
Oh, hi, Mark.
and then they correct him. No. And Lynn names a few, and then there's 3 others.
She can't even get it all the way right. And then, hey, guess what? DuckTales makes a surprise cameo on Christmas in July.
Then Huey, Dewey, and Louie. He says, no, those are ducks. Well, how do they pull the sled?
DuckTales, woohoo!
Well, that's our Scrooge. It's the one from... No, never mind.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say, because of the Tanners being so nice to each other, it's going to be flat out impossible to find a damn Scrooge in the episode.
We'll get to it in a moment, but I mean,
you have one? All right, if you have one, I'd like to hear it. Because honestly, I'm stumped.
What's the thing? Technically, we have 2 Scrooge, debatably 2, but we'll get into it. It's I don't even agree with.
You could argue. I guess you could argue Willie, but because of his natural dynamic with Alf. But he's trying to make it a good Christmas the whole time. Although I was saying the greed. Yeah. There is a factor of the greed. All right.
I'm saying both of them are kind of the Scrooge in the episode. It's debatable. I mean, they fit the mold. On paper, they fit the mold for Scrooge.
Okay. Fair.
We'll get to it. Anyway, so Willie has been. He's left.
It's less of a stretch than Brighton, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, Brighton had some stuff there. Not a lot.
I'd 3 appearances. I'm not even going to call them scenes. I'm just going to call them appearances. All right, anyways.
50 seconds of footage.
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. So we got Willie. Willie's out finding a new tree to replace the one that Alf cut down into firewood for the holidays. They hope he gets back before. And Alf hopes he gets back before it snows. And Brian's like, wait, snow? Is it going to snow? And Alf's absolutely positive. Of course it's going to snow. And I believe
Do you watch any Christmas specials?
I forget exactly where they're located, but they live in a sunnier part of the world where.
Okay, but this is again a trope that I am surprised is making so many appearances in this year's roster. The trope of a Christmas in a place where it's not traditionally Christmas weather.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. I believe they're in the LA area, but I could be wrong.
That makes sense. I mean, totally makes sense for the LA area. So is Rocket Power. All right, anyways.
Yeah, let's see. So let's see. Anyway, so he hopes he gets back for the snow, and like Kate's poking the balloon here, saying, "Well, it doesn't really snow here." He says, "Oh, it always snows on TV. You know, there's sledding, there's snowmen, and then there's Santa Claus on a rotary shaver," which I thought was hilarious.
Oh gosh. And I love the whole logic of, well, you know, I saw Mr. T's Christmas special that had snow and they tape it in Burbank.
Yeah, that I thought was hilarious.
By the way, is that a thing?
There's a I don't know if he means the.
If that's a thing, then why haven't we done it yet?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if he's precise. I don't know if Mr. T had a show. I assume he had a show all to himself because he was a popular guy. But,
I mean, I'm just saying, that sounds amazing.
I'm sure there's an
like,
A-team.
That sounds Kiss Save Santa levels of amazing.
I'm sure there's a A-team Christmas special, and that might be what he's talking about. But then again, I don't know. Mr. T, it's very possible Mr. T, he had animated shows. I don't know if he had like a live show.
So. The animated one pertain to this because clearly Alf's talking about shooting it on a set and everything.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll look into it.
Burbank, does that mean they shot it on the Disney studio? Because that's where the Disney studio is located. Is Burbank.
Doesn't mean ever. I'm sure they have other studios in Burbank also.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know why Mr. T would be in a Disney
just
studio.
A little. I know. I'm just saying. Just a little bit of a Disney Easter egg. I noticed. Burbank. Disney.
Nickelodeon shoots in Burbank too, don't they?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Oh wait, you might be right because I think Paramount's in Burbank. Yeah. I think Paramount's right across the street from Disney. All right, you might be right.
Anyway, so Kate pokes the hole in this balloon here, saying, "Well, it doesn't really snow in this part of the state." Womp, womp, womp. Okay. Then Lynn's is going around like decorating, says, and she keeps finding other eggs that Alf said. So it's the last one, and it says, "Okay, then there's one in the Philadelphia."
And then Willie walks in, and he has a big box. And if I may, BlueDragonFive, Willie asks this important question that we're all wondering. What's in the fucking box? I'm sorry. Every time a box comes up, I'm going to play that clip. All right, anyways.
Get a better clip, would you? It's embarrassing.
I don't need a better clip. I need better speakers.
Yeah, get a better speaker. If you're going to pull that, get a better speaker. You're embarrassing yourself.
You embarrassed me in front of her.
You embarrassed me in front of this Christmas in July audience.
We haven't pulled that quote in a while. We need to get back to Daredevil. Christmas in July has been our schedule apart, folks.
Yep.
Oh my God. I still haven't done Steven Universe yet. And I think the next new batch of Steven Universe episodes is coming up. But that's going to be very topical. Yeah. Way to date this podcast. Tiki, give yourself a pat on the back.
Anyway. So, Willie returns with a box. Not a tree, as they were pointing out. Well, where's the tree?
Not Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
No, not Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
This would be a very different Christmas special if that was the case. All right, anyways.
Anyway, so then, remember how this goes? Would you like to take us through it?
No, go for it. Go for it.
It pretty much says it's...
do you not have it in your notes?
I have it, but I can't really decipher it.
Okay, well, basically, he's explaining how he found... he went to a lot of empty lots, and then he found an auction.
Oh, yeah, but he has a fun line of saying it's simple, but
let's start with a simple question. What's your name?
That's it. Thank you. Okay, I wrote that down. I could not decipher for the life of me.
All right.
Anyway.
I'm glad when I can be of assistance. It's rare, but it happens.
All right, so Willie's going around looking for a tree, a lot of empty lots. He gets to one lot, and he got Fahey. Fahey has one tree in auction for basically Willie attended an auction. Fahey was having for the last tree in his lot, but guys putting bids in for stuff. Basically, at the end, it got to $100, and Willie, I have my price. I have my price. Willie has his price. He has his principles, like any stubborn dad. It's like, no, I'm not going over $100.
So is this where your Scrooge thing comes in? The fact that he's technically being picky with money.
Well, I mean, he has. Look, Alf and Willie both have arcs, and they both start off in a different place than they ultimately do, and both of them could be said to be.
I don't really see where you're coming from with Alf. I mean, I think the thing with Scrooge is you need to come from somewhat of an ill-intentioned place, and I think with Alf, he absolutely doesn't have any ill intentions. He's very genuine with wanting to give the family a good holiday. He's just very confused as to what a holiday is.
Well, I'm saying
we at least have the little building blocks of he's cautious with money. I mean, it's not much, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm saying Alf gets a little disinterested later on in the holidays, and that's when he wavers a little bit. Then it's like a mini Scrooge arc. That one's a little looser, I'll admit. But the point is, like, he's kind of ruins Christmas at first, but then he kind of saves it in the end. It's kind of, Scrooge-ish, perhaps. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Willie is more so the Scrooge, I suppose. Again, I really hate to say it because Willie's so likable a guy. It's not even
right, exactly.
It's not a monster.
It's not like he's really in the wrong. I mean, he's just trying to save a few bucks, and that's literally what makes him a Scrooge. It's kind of funny. And
then, of course, it bites him.
$25 is what makes him a Scrooge.
Yes, and it bites him at every opportunity. So he does. Instead of being visited by ghosts, he's visited by less money in his account.
Right.
So anyway, let's see. So basically, he didn't get the tree because $100 was his price, but I like my price. Okay, so we find out in the box it's a tree. It's an artificial tree, and apparently in the 80s they had really crappy artificial trees.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So
I mean, really, yeah.
So pretty much say, oh yeah, very lifelike. Says, what do you do? Add water? No. And it's basically you put it together and it has a can of simulated snow. I gotta tell you, just hearing that sounded awesome, but I'm pretty sure it would be like a disappointing deal. Yeah, if you got 2 of those, we can make an artificial snowman.
Yeah, this really, I think I see where you're coming from. Like this does kind of start to shatter Alf's illusion of Christmas a little bit, little by little. Yeah. It's like Alf is the one that's kind of coming into it from an optimistic point of view, but he kind of gets slowly chipped away at a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's like a dip in Alf's holiday cheer because he's just being disillusioned with Christmas. Then he finds it again. So, I mean, there's a Scrooge-ish arc. Willie is more so the Scrooge, I suppose.
Because of $25.
Yeah. I mean, he fits the greedy mold, and we have to put again. He's not even being real. He's not being real greedy. It's a realistic situation. It's like he thought.
He's more being like cautious with money than anything else. But
now, to be fair, another thing to factor into the whole series, by the way, is Alf does burn a hole in the Tanner's pockets a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh God.
Because Alf breaks a lot of stuff. Again, the garage was a big expense.
Mm-hmm.
He had to repair that whole. The whole roof of the garage was destroyed, so he had that's a lot of money to repair it.
That's cool that he can, like, Alf can do antics within an episode and they'll actually carry on the damage.
They will, like, mention, like, seasons onward saying, oh, yeah, when you crash, like, season 1 and 2 definitely mentions, like, like, this will pay off the garage, or, like, we've still been paying off the garage.
Right.
So, I mean, there is somewhat, like, they always mention,
continuity.
Like, they will mention stuff Alf's broken that they're repaired. Sometimes, for the most part, it's actually a reference to something, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just random damage we didn't see, but we just assume it happened. Anyway, so then they're unboxing the thing, and Brian notices 125. What's that? That's dollars, and that's how much he paid for this. 125. And then Alf just points out here, he's just trying to understand. Because Alf always kind of taking Willie down a step by just pointing out the foolishness in his decision making. Again, more so like the lapse in judgment. Again, Willie's not a dumb guy by any stretch, but he is a mistake in the
grand scheme. He's only human.
Now is that more? That's more than you paid. More than Fahey's tree, am I right? So, well, it's more, but it's less. And then there's like a Johnny Carson guy. He says, I'm talking to Karnak here. That was funny. Anyway, so then he says, well, look, this tree is guaranteed to last 25 years. It's a 25-year lasting tree. That's a quarter of a century.
We're going to be stuck with this tree for a quarter of a century.
Exactly.
And I must say, this is like a freaking like pyramid scheme, if you ask me. It's like, yeah, it's a tree that'll last a long time, but it's a shit tree.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, speaking of which, good Charlie Brown tree.
I did. Yeah, except it's not a lovable Charlie Brown tree.
Yeah. It's a
It's
coat
like
rack.
the black of the Charlie Brown trees.
It's a coat rack with pine needles.
That's exactly.
It's a coat rack with pine needles. That's what it is. Okay, let's see. So basically, no one's asking you. Well, I'm not waiting for an invitation.
As I'm sure is the case through most of the series.
Yeah, they just have some great banter, these two. They really do. It's like Alf making the logical arguments, Willie just not having any of it. Because again, this is all Alf's fault. You can't forget.
And Alfie is getting kind of worked up at this point. So you're right. He is kind of going into Scrooge mode a little bit.
Again, they're both kind of co-Scrooges. That's what they are. They're co-Scrooge.
I think Alf is the one who kind of has more of the bad attitude, and Willie is obviously the one who's like, ooh, money.
And again, at least Alf's funny with the bad attitude, though.
Right.
They're not like kicking children or anything.
Oh, of course not.
Can you imagine if Scrooge just kicked children in another reinterpretation? I'm
I'm
serious.
just picturing Michael Caine Scrooge.
I'm picturing like Patrick Stewart Scrooge
Oh,
is like kicking homeless children.
Kicking homeless children, cannibalizing monkeys.
Okay,
It's all good.
I'm just saying, like, little kid walks by and says, "Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge," and just kicks the kid into the curb.
God. In the face or what?
That's the thing. I don't know if like turns the kid around and kicks him into the street. Anyway,
Where do we get onto this?
okay, like, moving on. So let's see. So fake snow.
God,
and
you say I have a dark sense of humor, but you pull out some dark shit. And I think it's because of me. Like I've said this before, but I think I am a bad influence on you, my friend. All right, anyways.
Moving on. So we got basically Alice complaining of fake snow and a miserable tree. He says, "Well, let me remind you, it's your fault for all this."
Oh, yeah. He's getting...
Yep. Okay, let's see. So, and then we hear caroling outside. Got them all in the family time, only caroling, just in an episode. So we got some of that. So we got Alf hears caroling. He doesn't know what caroling is, and he's the caroling payoff to this gag is hilarious, by the way. So we hear caroling outside. Says, "You want me to get rid of them?" No, Alf. It's caroling. They're carolers. They're singing. Anyway, so Willie, basically, the family wants to go caroling with the rest of the neighbors and friends and stuff. So you go ahead. I'm going to assemble the tree. It won't take me too long.
Sure, it won't.
And then this exchange might be my favorite of the episode. It's really hilarious. It's Alf is asking. I just love these are the type of situations I love, Tiki, in the show. It's basically there are many situations where Willie will be building something and Alf will be assisting him for some reason, even though it's against Willie's better judgment. Just Alf will be there just commenting on all the stuff Willie's doing wrong. Anyway, so it starts with him just saying, "You're gonna let Brian go caroling? Why not?" Well, on Melmac, we had a different meaning for caroling on Melmac. It says, well, what was that about? Well, they have to ask Carol about that.
Oh, God.
Implication being Carol might be very popular around the holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all in good holiday spirits.
Yeah.
All right, anyways. So,
Construction.
yeah, they're putting the tree together, and Willie, he's starting to realize he was wrong about the tree.
Yep. Step 1: paint the trunk green. Paint not included.
Oh man,
I love that being
it's
step
so bad.
That's step 1. That just tells you, yeah, this was a bad purchase.
I mean, for $125 too. I mean, man.
And in, I believe the 80s. I mean, it could be early 90s. I think it's like.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like inflated, that's probably something around like I want to say maybe like 250, if not even more, today.
I don't know. I like to say
that.
I don't know, like generously, I'd say 200, but you're probably right though.
I don't know. It's inflated pretty high since then.
I don't know. I think you're right though. You're probably right. And
I don't think much higher than 250, but it doesn't matter.
It's in the 200 range, I guess. Anyway,
yeah.
We don't have Gordon Gekko on this podcast.
No, we don't.
Let's see. So, paint not included again. Bad purchase has been indicated here, and the
I need to break into a place and steal some shit.
Anyway, So Willie thinks, I think he'll be fine working on this alone. He thinks he'll be fine working on this alone. Pretend I'm not here, like we're all pretending that tree isn't. Okay, so let's see. So then Alf again, he's fixated on the snow because that's his big Christmas desire.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of. Do we have anything else like that? Is there any other kind of running thing that you can think of someone that wants to see the snow for Christmas? I want to say that's a thing somewhere.
Well, let's see. Desire for snow.
I don't know. It's weird. It's just eating at me a little bit. For some reason, I want to say I've seen that before.
Well, I mean, it's probably in season 1. I can't remember anything from this season about snowfall desire. I'm not sure.
All right. Anyways.
So Alf, he's fixated on this. He's watching the Weather Channel, like any man in his 60s. So I'm kidding, but Alf is actually like in his 200s, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, let's see. So Alf, it's like 4 inches in Georgia, 12 inches in Buffalo, 6 inches in the 6 inches predicted in the Angelo Forest. And again, Angelo Forest signals something in Willie's mind. He says, "Oh, I remember Kate and I, we'd go cut down a tree back at the Angelo Forest."
Basically, impression. That's a good one.
Thank you. I take pride in it. Yes. No. Okay. Anyway, so basically, so he gets an idea. So the Angelo Forest, where they used to cut down trees, used to be traditional. They kind of just randomly stop. So he figures, let's do it again. Basically, gets an idea. Here's kind of our good old holiday kind of. Willie's had kind of his. This is his kind of coming out of the Scrooge moment. Would you say?
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, he finds Christmas like him.
Like I'd say his Scrooge moment is very brief. His Scrooge moment is just buying the tree in the first place.
Yeah, and this is like his kind of his arc, right? And it's in the motions now. Just pretty much him saying, like, "Excuse me, boy, what day is it? It's Christmas, sir. Thank you. Go get the biggest Christmas goose you can find. One twice as big as me. Yes, and also I'm sorry.
Are you bringing up Christmas goose because we're about to get to a Donner Party line and you're just preparing us?
Oh, no. Anyways, also I'm sorry for kicking you earlier.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Now I want to see a Christmas Carol Alf episode with Alf as Bob Cratchit.
Anyway, okay, so you're gonna go. So basically, Willie just got the spontaneous idea. Okay, we're gonna go cut down. I'm gonna go out to the Angelo Forest. Gonna cut down a tree. It's only like an hour away. It'll be a surprise to the whole family. I have a real tree. I'll make up for the blunder I made. So again, this is his whole. I'm gonna make up for all the bad stuff I did. Again, he didn't do any bad stuff particularly, but I'm gonna give him a better Christmas tree than I thought.
It's a nice sentiment. It's a really nice sentiment. Yeah. I will say it kind of bothers me like it's not a big deal at all, don't get me wrong, but it kind of bothers me a little bit that he's just kind of leaving his family out in the cold when it comes to caroling, because he pretty much said he'd be right behind them.
Yeah, but he also said he was assembling the tree. I think it's a fair leap that he's going to take some time. Anyways, I mean he's leaving a note for him saying it's all in good spirit. He's saying like I'm going to get.
Yeah, the fact that he left a note is good. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh okay. It's kind of what you were talking about, like with the teenage daughter. Like, I think it's going to be a mistake, but it's like, oh, they turned around. All right, they did something about it. That's not like he's not being careless about it. He actually let him know where he's going. All right, anyways.
Okay, let's see. So, let's go. And then Alf saying he wants to go along, and Willie says, "Wait, you?" And then Alf says, "You're not going to deny me my one chance to see snow, are you?" And then again, ordinarily Willie probably be say no to this, but for the episode we need these two guys together because they're so hilarious together. But also it's Christmas, and Willie just showing you how far along he's come in his mini Scrooge arc. No, seriously, because it's the holiday season, Willie's taking a chance and giving Alf like an opportunity, give him a good, nice little Christmas thing here. So, okay, it's Christmas Eve. All right, that's I think is adorable. Mac's right. I love the way he plays Willie. It's hilarious. It's such a lot of heart in it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's see. So, I mean, his justification for like taking the risk here, because like the same old risk is like if anyone sees they have an alien, Alf gets sent to the lab, most likely gets dissected, a lot of bad stuff, not really holiday-ish.
Wasn't the ending to this show really dark?
Yeah, it was really dark. Anyway, okay, so basically, Willie's justification is there's barely anyone on the roads to see him, so okay, why not? It's Christmas Eve. Okay, I'll go warm up the car. I'll go leave a note for Kay. Oh, wait, no. No. I'll warm up the car. You get the chainsaw and the gas. And they
that sounds like a great idea.
Then Al's all ecstatic about it. Then Will says, "Oh, what am I saying?" Okay, cut to.
Like we said, really fun dynamic between these two.
Cut to.
They're driving and
right along.
Right.
Sorry.
Especially fits with the Jim Henson.
Yeah.
All right. So I
don't believe ALF was actually created by the Jim Henson studio.
Really?
I don't believe. I could be wrong. I believe Paul Fusco made him personally, but.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I could be wrong. He's like talked about Jim Henson, so I'm thinking like I'm getting a sense like he admired Jim Henson. He didn't know him or anything. I could be
okay, gotcha.
It could have been one of his shops that made him, though. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But I don't believe Jim Henson made ALF. I don't believe the company made ALF.
So at this point, Alfie, at this point they're getting a little bit lost. Alf's kind of questioning, like, "Oh, are you sure that this Christmas tree farm was just in your mind?" And then right after they pass a convey that's broken down off the side of the road, and they see a family eating a monkey or something. I don't know. They
just couldn't resist.
They literally say the Donner Party. No, I could not. I already told you. If it's a situation with people being stranded, I will bring it up. So there you go. So yeah, Alf's like, "Oh, we just passed the Donner Party."
It's basically the place is like barely on the map. They can't find. It says, "Oh, look, there goes the Donner Party." Pretty much saying, we're lost and we're gonna freeze to death, essentially.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So the family must be worried sick about me. Says Alf. Says, "Oh, the family must be worried sick about me." Such an ego. Forget Willie. They're not going to miss Willie. They're going to miss me.
Alf has such an ego that he invaded the Cartoon All-Star special, even though he's not a cartoon. That's how much of an ego Alf has.
He had an animated series to ego.
Oh, so it's kind of. So I guess it's kind of like the same explanation. I'm sorry. As Slimer
being
a
little too much eggnog.
No, I have not.
I'm sorry.
I don't really drink all that often.
No.
But when I do, I drink Dos Equis.
Okay, so let's see. So fam must be worried sick about me. Basically, Al says he wants to go back. He says, "Well, what about the snow?" Well, there's no snow. There's only snow. I see no snow. There's only mud.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically saying you promised me snow and you promised me trees. Well, you promised me snow, and then he says, "I didn't promise you anything." Yeah, and you coming from the guy who promised trees.
Right.
So he's really twisting the knife into Willie, like, "Oh yeah, you really let him down on the tree thing, didn't you?"
So Willie, he just kind of wants to go home and work on the tree at this point. And I was like, "Oh sure, that'll work, and then Christmas will be in March."
Yep. By the time he finishes constructing that thing, it'll be March. So basically, they agreed to. It's kind of interesting when you think about the Scrooge thing here, Tiki. That first act is Willie's Scrooge arc. Second act is Al's Scrooge arc.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, let's say anyway. So yeah, basically they agree. Okay, we'll turn on the next part of the road. We'll turn around. We'll go back and I'll assemble that thing. And look on the map. Tell me where we're going. It says, make a right here, or make a left or a right. Basically, make the turn here. It says, "You sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure. And then he turns and they're trapped. They're trapped in like a mud bank. They're just stranded. And then he says, "Oh wait."
My opinion has the line of the episode. I think.
What does he say?
If we're not home before Santa gets there, I'll sue you."
No, I love the sincerity behind it too. It says, it's not even that. It's like, "If I'm not home before Santa's there, I'll sue you."
Oh, it's wonderful.
Okay, meanwhile, cutting back to our dear beloved family here, we have the Tanners returning from caroling. No sign of Willie. Where is he? Where could he possibly be? They find a note because he's a responsible, nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, this is kind of like a nice, like, it could be just like, they could have very easily have like, oh no, where is he? We're worried sick. But no, they know exactly where he is. It's kind of like avoiding the tropes.
So Kate finds a note and she reads, okay, he's heading to the McConnell's tree farm. And then she remembers, oh yeah, because we always got lost going there. So that's not good. He's in trouble. And then Trevor, this guy I might have to explain a little bit. So there's not much.
I think you will, because he kind of gets a Norm introduction. He's like, Mr. Ackerville!
Do you actually think
the audience kind of like, I don't know, applauds a little bit?
No, they don't applaud.
Well, they give some kind of reaction when he walks in.
So it's not really a lot there. Just the Tanners have nosy neighbors who are like nosy and obnoxious neighbors who have a similar name, Othmonic. That's that's the gag. Their last name is Othmonic, like obnoxious.
Allow me to do my Adventure Balloon Dude's sarcastic laugh.
And again, sounds a lot like your Norman Bates Peter Pan reaction.
All right. Anyways.
The point is, so this guy's name is Trevor Othmonic, and the idea is he's the annoying one. His wife's the very nosy one who played Jerry, not the actress herself. Like just she. If you ever watch Seinfeld, remember like Jerry's mom? You ever see that?
Oh yeah, sure.
That's Mrs. Othmonic. So she just plays a nosy neighbor who always like, basically kind of like the insulting nosy neighbor who means well. She's like too. Just to like, oh, what are the Tanners are always hiding something? I want to know what's going on over there.
By the way, I totally think we need to do the Seinfeld episode next Christmas in July. I think that should be like on our.
I remember I pitched that to you the first. I pitched that to you.
I know. You're right.
We could have done that instead of Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, that's literally kind of a knife in my heart. My fault.
Yep. That's the Caesar like Sab I'm gonna use on you one day. But if we ever turn on each other, I'm just gonna use that as my quiver. Like, this is for Inspector Gadget. You forsaken me.
I was just so uninterested in that podcast. I was just so over it.
You did this to us.
All right. Anyways,
basically, again, point being, Trevor's pretty self-explanatory. The annoying neighbor who comes by, he thinks he's all self-important and beloved by the Tanners. And it basically comes by bearing mistletoe and goodwill, and he wants eggnog.
Hey, I come bearing tropes.
Yeah. So he brings mistletoe, which again, kind of our namesake here.
Indeed.
Again, it basically says, what about, and have some eggnog. And he says, have some eggnog. Would you like some eggnog, Mr. Othmonic? Yeah, sure, and heavy on the brandy. I know. So I think you get the gist.
It's so rude. It's like insisting on eggnog and then insisting on heavy on the alcohol. It's like, hey, come on, man.
I really hate the fact he didn't actually knock to get in the house. He just opened
it. He just made a Kramer entrance, basically.
Really bugs me.
All right. Anyways.
Okay, let's see. So then Mr. Othmonic says, "Well, what's this?" He's looking at the terrible tree, the Diet Charlie Brown tree.
I'd say even that's being kind.
Yeah, we're being extremely kind. He's a piece of crap. It's a coat hanger.
Inspector Gadget saves Christmas.
No, it's not that bad. Come on. The point is, again, it's a coat hanger with pine needles. So he says,
you need to know.
He asks, "What's this?" And he actually says, "Oh, is it like a coat hanger?" And he says, "No, it's our tree." Okay, anyway, moving on. So we got Alf on the accelerator of the car. Basically, I guess he's like dug it out, or just kind of pushed the car so it's like can get some traction or something. And basically, it tells Alf on the signal, push the gas. I mean, get out of thing. This is a trope in itself, not for the holidays, but just a trope. Well, actually, okay, it's a trope to be stranded somewhere for the holidays.
Oh God, yeah, this is what we've already established.
I was thinking like trope of like the guy pushing the car and then getting mugged.
I'm particularly fond of the monkey legs, Marianne. Sorry.
Anyway, so anyway, so it basically says, Alf, push do it now, and he pushes the gas and just stop. And basically, Willie's covered in mud as he's just like so sorrowfully and defeatedly walking to the driver's seat. And I love this moment. Cracks me up because it's nice. It's just he gets in there and just Alf hands him a hanky or something. And says, "Thank you."
Oh God. Oh,
We're completely stuck. Then Alf saying, "Well, how long until spring?" This never happened to Sonny.
Sonny Crockett.
Yeah, he had a car phone. Alf, I'd like to have a car phone. I'd like to be Superman. Well, now you're just being silly. I'd like to be Superman and fly out of here. Well, now you're just being silly.
I love how genuine Willie's be when he's like saying he wants to be Superman. Like that's almost like a little like deep down emotional fantasy that he has in a way. It's kind of touching a core of it. But, I would always like to be Superman. All right. Anyways, you know what I just realized? I don't have the list in front of me. So can you take us through a little bit while I track that down?
You're gonna miss some sentimental stuff.
I'm gonna miss some sentimental stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what would be a good place for me to take a break? Because I seriously need to track down the list. It's bothering me.
Is it like hidden in the room, or is it like just around?
It's just around, and I need to find it.
All right, fine, leave.
All right.
Get out of here. Anyway, folks, so what's going on here is so Alf is talking to Willie here and like saying, "Whisker for your thoughts." Yeah, it's a real nice little sentimental moment, and what's really hilarious in this scene is that they're playing. Said Alf is, "Do you mind if I turn on the radio, put on some music?" And because he senses that Willie's going to get all sentimental here for a moment. Whisker for your thoughts, and I'm sorry. I want to backtrack to the Whisker for your thoughts thing for a second. It's really sweet because just again, it shows you the camaraderie between these two. Just like Willie is like he's upset in the moment and everything, but he gives his look to Alf with like just this little wistful smile of like Alf saying, "Whisker for your thoughts," and Willie just has a smile on his face saying, "What?" He says, "Whisker for your thoughts." That's how we ask someone what they're thinking about on Nomak. So then Willie indulges him, and before he gets into kind of his holiday kind of heartfelt moment of the episode, and he says, "I sense you're getting sentimental. Can I put on the music?" Sure. Puts on some holiday music to go in the background of this emotional moment. Then Willie goes into a speech about how the tree was important. The tree throughout a Christmas, no matter how the economic state of anything has been, the tree is always kind of the important part. It's like important with the family. That was like the building memories with that tree.
Right, and I say that is kind of a trope unto itself. Is well, not necessarily the tree to a certain extent, yeah, definitely focus on the tree, but also just the whole idea of like being together as a family being more important than gifts. That's a huge Christmas trope. Huge. That's one of the most important morals we have in Christmas specials.
Certainly. So as Willie's going to the story here, I thought the story was kind of charming. And you kind of missed it, but it was going on how I love the delivery on like basically asking him like what the whisker for your thought thing was.
I also love how he's. Oh, and also we get kind of a callback to Christmas in July in a way.
Yes, we do. Okay, so let's get to it. What he's saying is, basically his little tradition here is we keep the tree up until every needle was gone.
Every last needle was gone.
And then there was this one 4th of July, and then.
And then Alf, he just rudely, and he's like, "Mind if I switch to the ball game?"
So you put like holiday music in it. Works really well in the scene too, by the way. This is good. You mind if I switch to the ball game? Just you don't get it.
Oh god.
Then they agree to sit and be quiet, and then and also
and
like
you just know when he says sit and be quiet that's going to be a hard task for Alf.
Let's just say Alf is being very vocal about being quiet, just sitting, being quiet.
Being quiet? Waiting patiently?
Saying
nothing.
And also in that little holiday story, Willie probably mentioned like some of his family members, including Doug. I believe is like his. I forget what the relation was, like Uncle Doug or something. I don't know. Sorry.
Uncle Doug.
Anyway,
Right.
so basically,
Did he have a dog that got put through a very traumatic holiday special? All right. Anyways.
yeah. Anyway, so then says, how did Doug die? It says he was talking and someone hit him.
I could totally see that. I could totally see that happening to Alf as well. All right, and so, all right. Well, I guess we'll just have to sit here and listen to the mud.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, back at the Tanner household.
No, dream sequence.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. And would you say a holiday special dream sequence? Is that a trope unto itself?
Yeah, and it kind of fits into kind of a Christmas caroling type of journey here.
In a way, yeah.
Okay, so we're in Willie's dream right now, and especially we know it's Willie's dream. For some moments later on, we definitely know it's Willie's dream. It doesn't remain Willie's dream, but we know it starts as Willie's dream.
No, there's some Inception level stuff going on at the end. Oh no, Willie, look out! There's a train coming right for you!
Spinning the top. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Willie, why is the top still spinning?
Please imagine Alf being Leonardo DiCaprio running around with the water just like pouring from every side for a moment.
And on a side note, I want to see a Muppet's take on Inception now.
Okay, we don't have time to indulge on that fantasy.
No, we don't.
Let's focus on this fantasy, okay?
Yes.
So basically, Willie's dream is like the perfect.
It's a fantasy within a fantasy.
Right. So basically, Willie's thing here is it's basically the perfect Basically, what if the earlier in the episode went completely perfectly in Willie's idealized mind here? So basically, it's the perfect family, positive perception of Willie coming home with the fake tree.
Oh god.
And it's hammy as all get out, and of course it's just like Willie's dream imagining what his family would be like. They're all like saying, "Oh, well, let's all get the door together."
Yeah, they're literally getting into like a little bit of an argument over who's gonna, well, not an argument. They're too civil for an argument. They're just, oh, I want to get the door. No, I want to get the door. Let's all get the door.
Anyway, so it's like basically it's like the 50. It's like an idealized. It's even more idealized than just any 50s family you've ever seen. Anyway, so they get the door, and basically there's a whole love fest for Willie going on. You know, they all get the door. Let's see, they love the bad tree. They're saying, "Oh, it's such a beautiful tree." You know, they're going nuts for this bad tree.
Right.
You know,
they're going nuts as if it's the actual Charlie Brown tree.
Yeah, then they're saying like, "Oh," and then Willie brings up saying, "Oh, it's not like we have an alien to lose a lot of money out on or anything. Basically, not like we have an alien to cause mischief or anything." He says, "Well, why would you bring that up? You know, I don't know."
All right. So then there's a problem. There's a problem that Lucy Ricardo could relate to. Are you rushing or are you dragging?
Jeez. What's the Lucy Ricardo-ish problem?
The Lucy Ricardo-ish problem is that the tree's leaning just slightly.
There's a trope right there, kind of adjusting the tree.
Right.
Of course, we've seen it all over the place, and like in Christmas Story, he adjusts it, and it's actually more crooked than it was to start with.
Okay, it's fine. No, it's not fine to me. And so they have to call a tree repairman.
And Willie's like, "How is there there's no such thing as a tree repairman."
Oh, he's on his way. Ding dong. Oh, that must be him now.
And it's Alf. And it's I love how Willie's the only one who gets what's going on here. So anyway, so the minute Alf appears in the dream, Willie is like it turns into a Twilight Zone all of a sudden. I love it. Right. It's just the minute the door opens, it's like this is actually a great Twilight Zone premise when you think about it. A man who's in a dream life, but then he knows that someone's invading his dream, but no one will listen.
I can tell you stories about lucid dreams that I've had that are remarkably similar to that, but that's for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Lucid dreaming is a fascinating thing, though. Anyways.
That's for the We Keep It Lucid podcast.
No, it's mostly for probably scary adventures because there's scary shit that's going on.
Anyway. So
like literally my subconscious
yeah.
telling me that I'm not dreaming, even though that I do believe that I'm dreaming.
A lot of mind games. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So,
Womp! All right.
okay, so it's Alf, it's him. It's like, no, not you, not you. Like, then basically says, this is my dream. He walks up to Alf. Alf is like walking up to the tree, saying, this is my dream. What are you doing here? He says, I'm the tree repairman. And he says, oh, look at this tree. It's a fake. There's the problem. This isn't a tree. It's a fake.
You're a phony. Do you know who lives in this house? A phony.
You're a cheap phony. Okay, anyway, so then basically says, I'm going to have to take it to my shop. It'll be ready by Easter.
I love that. I love the idea that he has to take it into the shop.
Yeah, a bit of a Grinch reference, perhaps. He says, I'll take it to
Right,
my
yeah,
shop.
exactly. I didn't even think about that, but you're right on, yeah.
So I guess like kind of tree repairs. That's a trope for Christmas specials, tree repair.
Sure.
That's a growing trend.
Sure. If by growing trend you mean twice, then sure.
I'm sure there are other examples. We just need to look deeper into it. Anyway, we do have this is hilarious. After the Easter line is an even better line. It says, they'll be ready around Easter, but call first. The fact that you have to call. Because here's the idea, Tiki. It's they're going to say it's a problem they could fix at any time, but they're not going to bother with it until the last minute when they call. That's the gag. And then there's Willie, like before Alf's trying to take away the tree now, and Willie's grabbing the other side of the tree. I want my tree. I want my tree.
Yeah, they get into a tug of war over it, essentially.
This isn't exactly a Christmas trope. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of the Scrooge wake-up moment.
Oh God.
I don't know. It's a little bit of a trope.
I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Fair enough. Anyway, so I want my tree. I want my tree. You got it, Willie. Wake up. He wakes Willie up.
It's right here, Willie.
Yeah. He says, where did this tree come from? And then Alf, what does Alf say in response, Tiki?
Oh, well, I chopped it down, but there's a forest ranger heading our way.
Well, okay, I was thinking more so of like just answering where the tree. Think about what you said, Willie. Basically, where the trees come from. That's what he says.
Okay.
You know, like, take a guess, Willie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally.
Yeah,
that was a funny line. I don't really have it written down. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. It's so whatever you're gonna wait. This is a real touching moment. So this is Alf's Scrooge arc coming to fruition here. So now he's a little bummed out about Christmas. Now he's kind of going back into the spirit here. And what he won't admit, here's a Scrooge moment. Actually, it's that he was down on Willie, and now after hearing Willie's story, he's realized it meant a lot to him, and he did this all for Willie. He says, "Well, you got it. You." He says, "I did it for you."
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really sweet. He cut down the tree for Willie.
Yeah, it was nice.
Willie and the family, because he meant a lot to him. I thought that was nice. Anyway, so then Willie said, well, whatever you're going to say it. I don't know what to say. Whatever you're going to say it quickly, because there comes a forest ranger.
Oh, God.
Good. We're going to get help. We're going to get help. We're going to get home.
We're going to get a fine.
We're going to get a fine. And then, here's a sweet bit.
It is.
So then Alf, like in classic fashion, if there's any of this situation, it'd be like, okay, Alf has to hide, and this is Alf's like ducking down the seat under a cover or something, and then you realize before he goes down, it says, "Oh look, snow! I get to see snow, and it's snowing." And this bit melts my heart.
It does, yeah, absolutely.
So then, as Alf's like off screen, he's like below the glove compartment. There's just really nice moment before like Willie puts the cover over his head to hide him. He says, "Merry Christmas, Alf. Merry Christmas, Willie." Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers think, "Get out of the car. We got to talk." Okay, so it's Christmas.
I'm kind of surprised that the Ranger just let him keep the tree.
Oh, no, he had to pay for it.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Okay. Plus, it is Christmas. He probably let him off a little with a warning with that, too.
I guess so, yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, it's the Tanners back at their Christmas Day, opening up presents and everything.
So what did Alf get?
Alf got a viewfinder, but he thinks it's for giving eye exams with.
Yep, and it's of the Looney Tunes, because Alf, as you know, likes to eat cats.
Oh, yeah.
See, if they were stranded, what they would have done is Alf would have found a stray cat.
You're right. That's absolutely what they would have done.
Anyway, so basically, I love this. It's such a happy Christmas, yet our main beloved character saying, to Sylvester. Sylvester tweeted, "Yes, die, cat, die."
Die. Yes. Yes.
Okay, says,
so casually too. He's wishing death on the cat so casually.
Yep. Well, yeah, and cats are a delicacy on Melmac.
Oh God.
No, seriously, that's his whole shtick. Like,
yeah, I know.
Anyway, so then like Willie's saying, "Oh, it's a nice tree. It costs $367." Basically for the fine and the tow coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's pretty reasonable for a fine to cut down a tree, though. To tell you.
Well, again, in like probably like late '80s. Too.
Right. Yeah.
Inflation to factor into that, but yeah.
Probably inflation would be more like probably like 500, 550 something. But again, we aren't Gordon Gekko.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. So then, like, we see what Alf gave the family. He says, "Alf, you can't shop. Kate, everybody can shop.
Just like everyone can cook."
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, Alf has an account with Alf used Willie's account to get the stuff from the Sears catalog.
Oh God!
Remember when catalog?
No, it's a hardware Hamlet.
Ah. Remember when catalogs were used to shop back in the day?
Oh yeah! Oh my God, dude! Remember like going through the Sears catalogs and circling the presents that you want? oh my God! Oh, I'm just getting tingly thinking about it.
So let's see. Lynn got a staple gun.
Mm-hmm.
Brian got a leaf blower.
Mm-hmm.
Kate got a rotary sander with a little pink bow on it. And Willie got weather stripping. That's a nice gift.
Yeah.
You can always use some weather stripping, you know? You don't know what's going to happen. Anyway.
Now let us praise the immortal Saint Frosty the Snowman. When I heard that, I cracked up. I got to admit.
Yeah, well, before that, there was been saying, well, it's the thought that counts. And that's a good message to expect. You know, even if someone gives you the wrong gift, it's a thought that counts. It's an old saying, but it counts nonetheless. Then he says the hilarious misquote of all misquotes. What's the full thing?
Oh, I just have immortal Saint Frosty the Snowman written down.
Well, he says, in the immortal words of Saint Frosty the Snowman, God bless us all, everyone.
Yes.
So got Santa Claus, Frosty, and Tiny Tim all misquoted in the same sentence.
Good job.
And then Brian blows away the paper with his leaf blower.
Yeah. All right, and that'll close the book on it, I guess.
Yeah. So overall,
well, like I said, I think I summed it up. I really do feel like this episode is a better kind of jumping off, kind of introductory point to the series than the other holiday special we reviewed. It granted, the other holiday special, as we've established, we think it's a hallmark of TV. The fact that they were able to do something so bold. But no, it's good. It's really fun. Quite frankly, I feel like you were kind of downplaying it a little bit for how good it ended up being. I enjoyed it a lot. There's not a lot to complain about.
Oh, it's a really solid Christmas special. I remember thinking it was always really it was always nice. Just Alf wants to see snow, and Willie gets to make up for a mistake with the tree, and altogether it's like the two of them learn through an experience with each other. And at the end, it's a simple Christmas special, but it's a very nice one at the same time. And you're right, it is a good introductory point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah,
that's one I definitely rewatch around the holidays.
For sure.
Anyway, so the list, folks, is like done towards the end here, towards our final stretch. We're keeping track this time around what we talked about. So at the end, we could say, man, that's a lot of stuff we talked about and things.
Indeed. All right, so we have Rugrats, Let It Snow, I Will Lucy Christmas Show, Batman Invasion of the Secret Santa.
Did you miss this? Answer me this. Did you write it down?
I almost did.
How would you write it down, Tiki? That's the problem.
Okay, I wrote it down as BATB, Invasion of the Secret Santa. So I see bat, right? I see bat and then B.
Invasion of the Bold.
Invasion of the Bold.
Invasion
of Silver Age comic characters invading everywhere.
Alf, it's Invasion of the Bold.
All right, Rocket Power Christmas. Whoa. Bells of Fraggle Rock. All in the Family, Draft Dodger, Holiday Time, Holly Jolly Secrets from Adventure Time. Spectre Gadget Saves Christmas. I know it's my fault. Merry Christmas, Keenan. Tubaphone. Picky in the Brain, Lou Grant, You're a Dirty Rotten Bastard and Styles Critic, Holiday Time at Disneyland, Wild Thornberries, Doug, Cleveland Show, Odd Couple, A Bed's Uncontrollable Christmas, Guardians of the Galaxy, Statler's Little Helpers, A Very Awesome Yo Gabba Gabba Christmas, Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics, Howl's Christmas Gift, Bath Item Gift Hypothesis, The Santa Experience, The Flintstones Christmas, The Nanny Hanukkah, and ALF. All right, that'll do it. Let's take a look under the wrapping paper.
Wait, we jumped a step, Tiki. We didn't go through all the tropes.
Oh, you're right. We did jump a step. I apologize. I knew we were missing something.
We were speeding through it so fast, I couldn't get awarded.
I know. I was literally like, we have an agenda to keep to. So
all right. Well, just quickly, let's summarize some of the tropes real quick. So we got basically the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, the coveted item of Christmas.
Right.
Someone trying to understand what Christmas is.
Right. Confusion about the holidays.
Yep, definitely.
Thank you, Grandma.
Definitely. So we got Trina. We got kind of the getting the wrong gifts for people.
Eggnog and mistletoe, courtesy of the neighbor.
Yeah, Mr. Othmanic. Yeah.
I come bearing tropes.
Christmas caroling, not the Momakian way.
Right.
That sounds like a fun way, though.
Kind of miniature Scrooge arcs.
Yep. We got two kind of co-Scrooges.
All right. Does that about cover it, I think?
Yeah, I think that's good. Well, also, it's good. It's good.
Okay. All right, and to take a look underneath the wrapping paper.
Oh, dream sequence. Dream sequence. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So let's peek under the wrapping paper. What are we talking about next?
All right. So coming up in about 5 minutes, we're going to be talking. Oh, I just dated the podcast. I'm sorry. I hate you.
Stop dating the thing.
I know. I'm bad.
You're naughty.
These podcasts should be timeless, just like these Christmas specials are for the most part, except for Inspector Gadget. So on the next Christmas in July, we will be talking about what the hell is that about? The Proud Family. I know, right? We'll be talking about the Proud Family, specifically 7 days of Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting. It'll be a Kwanzaa episode. Those are going to be hard to come around, I think. I'm going to say right off the bat, I think this probably has one of the best Scrooge arcs that we've seen in this season's Christmas in July, so it's going to be fun. All right, so with that in mind, yeah, ALF, the Christmas tropes in last year's Christmas special were all about the heartfelt and heart-tugging aspects of Christmas, and this year's Christmas tropes are all about kind of the lighter aspects of Christmas. But either way, that's what we're here to do, is to catalog the tropes.
And Tiki, what do we call this process exactly? What do we call this process of figuring out the tropes of Christmas?
We will call it putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope, Willie. Next time on Christmas in July. If we don't make it home before Santa gets there, I'm going to sue you.
ALF!